Have you sometimes spent hours replaying something someone said to you? Maybe they made a simple comment or made a criticism or made a small remark, and it just sparked the fire within you, created a whole lot of inner disharmony. And when that moment happened, it was clear to you who the problem was or what the problem was. It was them, it was their words, it was their behavior. But what if I tell you something different? What if I tell you it was not them, but they made visible something that was already within you, which caused your suffering? Today, I want to share with you a perspective that completely changed my life. It changed the way I see triggers, it changed the way I see the reactions, the emotional reactions our triggers create within us, and how we can move towards greater inner stability and inner harmony. So let's begin. So, why do we get triggered in the first place? See, a trigger is a very emotional thing. It doesn't make sense to our logical mind when it happens. It creates an emotional reaction. Like I was saying, that when somebody makes a remark or makes a comment or says something that hurts us, that is when our emotions flare up. We experience disharmony, we experience rage, we experience anger, and at that moment we do not have clarity exactly what is happening at that moment. When we are suffering, when you're in disharmony, our mind, our emotions, it wants to grab hold of something which it can blame, which it can make accountable for our inner experience. And what is better than the person and their words which acted as the stimulus for our disharmony? This is precisely what ends up happening. But the problem doesn't end there. The problem that happens is, for many of us, we go on years and years replaying those words, replaying those remarks, replaying those comments that once somebody said to us. It could be a family member, it could be a close one, it could be anybody. But we go on creating the scene that happened and what we felt, and we keep on blaming the external stimulus, the source in this case, which we think is the outside person or whoever made that comment. And we do not heal, and we create ourselves unnecessary suffering, and the cycle goes on. But if you look clearly at the situation, you will see the person who made the comment was just a stimulus. And what happened was within you, and they just acted as somebody, very much like somebody pressing a button, but the button existed within you. So, this is the clarity that I want to share before moving forward and sharing with you how to handle these triggering moments. Because once you start understanding that the person's words and what they said were not the actual cause of disharmony, it happened because there was a wound already present. Yes, you see, their words did not wound you. The wound was already present. Maybe there was lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem. There was some patterns within your wound that was already there, and their words just pressed on that wound and it flared up. You see? So now that you know that their words did not cause you the damage, it was your wounds which were lying underneath but were not healed. That is what caused the disharmony. And the mistake that we keep making, which stops us from healing and keeps the cycle repeating and again and again and again, which is we keep blaming the outside person or the situation, whoever made the comment, and we do not take accountability that we are wounded. Now, I have to make a distinction here. Some of you might say, like, oh, but the ones who said whatever they said, they were not justified. They made a very wrong comment. or that was absolutely hurtful, or that was something absolutely obnoxious. A human being should not be saying that to another human being. Now, the point of this video is not to judge the other person, because that is always debatable. What they said, what is not said, I do not know. They could have said absolutely morally wrong things, or maybe not. The point of this video is not this. The point is to understand that what is not debatable and an absolute truth is that you experienced emotional disharmony. You are the one who got triggered. You are the one who suffered. You are the one who got angry. That is not debatable. Your inner experience happened when that button was pressed, right? Now, this is something that we can work with, because we keep blaming they did this, they did that. I cannot make that person change. You cannot make that person change. That is not in your hands, but your inner experience, your inner reality is in your hands. There we have our focus of control, you know? So, how do you heal yourself out of this? What do you need to do differently if you are to come out of this cycle? Because if you don't, similar words by similar people and similar comments will keep triggering you, and it will stay in a loop. The way to handle triggers is to understand that triggers are invitations for self-discovery. Every time a triggering moment happens, let's say through a comment of a person, and you find yourself in emotional disharmony, suffering, angry, and raging, and in agony, at that moment, if you bring some inner awareness, if you close your eyes and try to notice what is happening within you, you are going to see that that trigger is trying to show you every single place in your awareness, in your beingness, where there is a wound present. You see? It's like you already had a wound and somebody scratched it and now it's hurting. So this scratching did not actually cause the pain. Maybe they did not even scratch that hard. It was that it was already burnt in the first place. That is why it's hurting. The scratching revealed the wound that was present. So that is like such an important opportunity to discover where you are already wounded, where there is still healing that needs to be done. This is where the inner work happens. Every single trigger is an opportunity to discover where you are still unhealed. You see? So, what I would say is when the next triggering moment happens, you are going to experience a lot of emotional disharmony when somebody makes a remark. But when you are a little calm, when you have settled down a bit, I want you to sit down with yourself and notice what emotions are coming up, what painful emotions are coming out, and I want you to notice them. Because once you start noticing them, you are going to see all the wounds that have been triggered by that comment. And once you start seeing them, the next step is to heal them. But you cannot heal them unless you can see what is happening, unless you can separate your outside experience with your inner experience, right? So I hope what I've shared with you has brought forth some clarity about the whole triggering experience and why we experience so much disharmony. Now, if you have enjoyed what I've shared in this video, then do leave a comment with what resonated. And if you are somebody who has recognized yourself in this conversation and you have noticed how certain situations and people and memories can disturb your inner harmony, then I also share a weekly newsletter that explores all these experiences in much more depth. Each week, I share reflections, insights, and observations, which is designed to help you better understand your inner world, restore greater inner harmony within yourself, and reconnect with your inner guidance. You see, so if you want to partake in this experience, then do sign up for my newsletter. The link is in the description of this video. And if you have enjoyed what I've shared in this video and want to watch more of my videos, then do subscribe to my channel and give this video a like and click the bell notification button so that you do not miss any of my videos when I release them. So I hope you have a wonderful day ahead, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.